Hey guys, there we go. So, I thought I'd share something with y'all. It's the 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 Bible that Geneva Bible, the some of the lost books, and this one is Efdras, first Esdras, chapter 1, and it's got the ND, like an N and a D there, which makes me think that the Aleph, and I don't know what the D is, if that's like the Aleph and the Tav. I know it's like the Aleph, okay? It's like his signature. Um, that when someone receives a word from God, sometimes God will cause our hand to write that. Okay, let's see what we got. So, in the title it says Estras, but this is Onsius kept the Passover to his Lord in Jerusalem. Okay? So it's Joseph then. Josias kept the Passover to his Lord in Jerusalem and offered the Passover in the 4th day of the 5th month, and appointed, and then this is a special letter that I sometimes see in my dreams, priests in order according to their daily courses, being clothed with long garments in the temple of the Lord. And he spake to the Levites and holy ministers of Israel that they should sacrifice themselves to the Lord, to let the holy ark of the Lord of the host, which Solomon the son of King David, because the U is actually a V sound, had built. So the I sound was done with a Y. You see that? And said, Ye shall no more bear the ark upon your shoulders, nor therefore serve the Lord your God, and take the charge of his people of Israel, and prepare according to your families and tribes, after the writing of David, king of Israel, and according to the main mainstay, I think it means ministry of Solomon his son. And then it says ST and IN, the temple, according to the order of the dignity of your faith, no, of your fathers and Levites, the Levites, which were appointed for your brethren and children of Israel. So this is the great falling away that everybody thinks they're waiting for, probably. Okay, verse 6. Offer and order the Passover and make ready the sacrifice for your brethren, and keep the Passover after the Lord's commandment given to Moses. So he's saying, keep it like Moses had it, right? Not like Solomon might have had it. Because of his wives, it might have profaned the temple worship, right? I don't know. We're learning together. So you're welcome to comment if you have studied this book already in detail. And Joseph gave to the people, Josiah, I guess, gave to the people that was present, 30,000 lambs and kids, I think that's lambs, with 3,000 calves. Thank you, Naleli. I don't know if you pronounce that E in your name. Okay, then this would be see how they mark that T real dark? That's probably the Tav, okay? And that would probably be the Omega, right? But it could just be a smear, and they added the T. So moving on, I'm not sure if that's a proper name or a therefore. Thank you again. We're given of the king's possessions. Let's see. It's complaining the way I got it hold of. According to the promise to the people, and to the priests, and to the Levites, then gave Helcas, and Zacharias, and Silas, the governors of the temple, to the priest for the Passover, 2,000 sheep and 3,000 calves. Furthermore, a lot of the I's are J's, so in our name. And the way we would say it, it would be Yekonis or Jekonis. Jeconias or Iconias. And Samarias. And Nathaniel, his brother, and Sabias. And Chiculus, and Joram or Aram, captains gave to the Levites for the Passover 5,000 sheep and ewes, I think. No, SEVEN. Oh, 7. Let's see, the F is a S and the U is a V. So it's 700 calves. And when these things were done, the priests and the Levites showed, can't go that close. Stood in order, having unleavened bread according to tribes. And after the order of the dignity of their fathers before the people, to offer to the Lord, as it is written in the books of Moses, MOY, and then the F sound, which should be S, Moses. And thus they did in the morning, and they roasted the Passover with fire. So they spelled fire it'd be seer. FYRE. As appointed, and they sawed their offerings. It's probably sewed their offerings with perfumes in cauldrons and pots. That don't sound right. That don't sound like the way God told them to do it, at least. It's how we've been taught. And set it before all them that were of the people, and afterwards, and prepared for themselves and for the priests their brethren and sons of Aaron. For the priests offered now this is probably fat. It says satte, sate, unto the evening. So I'm not sure what that word is. And the Levites did make ready for themselves and for the priests their brethren and the sons of Aaron. See, I don't like to take anybody's word for it. I like It's English. It's just Old English, and you can read it for yourself. You don't have to. You don't have to deal with a minister or a priest to tell you what God says. Okay, and the holy singers, the sons of Asaph, were in their orders according to the appointed ordinance of David. See, David's correct if you read the U as a V. So many people want to call it Daoud, but it's David. To wit, Asaph, pardon me, it's getting mad at me. That's my place trying to make the screen happy so I can see. Here we are, 15. To Asaph were in their orders according to the appointed ordinance David, to wit, and Asaph, and Azarus, and Edemus, which was of the king's appointments, and the I'm not sure. PORT and then ER or ETS were at every gate. So that it was not lawful. And then there's an Y. It's getting mad at me. Come on. There's a special Y in 16. Annie should so that any should pass his ordinance. Come on, thing. Watch his ordained watch. It gets mad at me when I get too close. It realizes that I'm showing print. For the brethren, the Levites made ready for them. And in that day, those things which appointed to the sacrifice of the Lord were accomplished, that they might offer the. Oh, I'm glad I only committed to one chapter. Good, we're almost there. Okay. No, maybe not. There's a hard indent, though. I'm probably going to stop there. Whew. The Passover. Okay. And offer the sacrifice upon the altar of the Lord, according to the commandment of King Josiah. So the children of Israel, which were present at that time, kept the Passover and the SEAST. No, that's probably feast. And the feast of unleavened bread 7 days. And there was no it doesn't look like feast again. There was no such all Passover. There was no SUCH suck or ses suk all Passover. No, all. No, it's got to be Passover. Yeah. Kept in Israel since the time of Samuel the prophet. Okay, so this is the first Passover, I guess, since the when Samuel was alive. Okay, they quit sacrificing until Solomon's temple was done, and this time then they're talking about, I guess. Okay, and next verse is 11. And all the kings of Israel did not offer a Passover, as did Usus. I can't say his name again. I just said it. And the priests and the Levites and the Jews, all Israel, which were let's see if I can get closer. Surround or sound to remain in Jerusalem in the EGHE. I don't know that one. 18th. It's the 18th. In the 18th year of the reign of Usus was his Passover kept. The workers of Usus were upright before the Lord, and with a heart full of godliness. And the concerning concerning, and then that letter I don't know, the Y with a little E above it, things which uh, came to pass in his time, they were written before, wit of those that sinned and did wickedly against the Lord, above every notion. I don't know. Nacion. Oh, a nation. Above every nation and kingdom, and grieved him with sensible things, so the words of the Lord found no words of the Lord, though stood the words of the Lord stood against Israel. And then there's a paragraph mark. Now, after all these I want to say acts. It's, you see that letter? It's like a backwards B of Yusuf to, it came to pass that when Pharaoh king of Egypt came to move is that a W or a V? To move something at Carcamus upon Euphrates, Yusuf went out against him, but the king of Egypt sent to him, saying, "What have I to do with thee?" And then another weird letter that's a backwards D, I think, or a backwards D. It's a D. It's a little D, or maybe it's an O with a mark over it. Oh yeah, it's an O. O King of Judah, I am not sent to the Lord God against. Pardon me. I am not sent of the Lord God against thee, but my war. Yeah, my war. Warre. My war is upon Euphrates, and now the Lord is with me, and the Lord hastened me forward. Depart from me, and be not against the Lord. Now, this was common English back in the day. That's why they translated it like this. But, use, Isus, or Yosus, Joseph, would not turn back his chariot from him, but prepared himself to fight with him, not regarding the words Jeremus, Jeremus, so it could be Jeremus, it's Jeremiah, the prophet, by the mouth of the Lord. But he set himself in battle array against him in the field of Migdal. And then there's another special letter. It looks like an A and an X all in one. And that could be the signature of God. Like when he does the Aleph and the Tav. Or no. That's an and sign. That's an and sign. And the prince came down, or the priest came down to King Josiah, and the king said to his servants, I think it might be concerning. Convey me out to the battle, for I am very weak. Oh my goodness. So he had him take him out of the battle. Convey, that must mean transport or something. Me out of the battle, for I am weak, very weak. And by his servants brought him out of the battle. So he gave up on his second chariot. I don't know. And being come against to Jerusalem, he changed his life. He changed his life. No, life. Life. And was buried. So he gave up his life, and it says he changed his life. And was buried in his father's grave, in his father's grave. So you see how they changed. They said it like differently, right? And in all Judea was Usus bewildered, yea, Jeremiah the prophet did lament for Josias, and the governor, their wives, did lament him unto this day, and this was ordained in all the kindred of Israel to be done continually. But these things are written to the book, Boke. Oh, to the book. It's written into the book of the stories of the kings of Jews, and every one of the acts, and then that Y again. It's just like Spanish, I think. Of Jehoshaphat, or it would be Jehoshaphat, did, and his glory and his knowledge in the law of the Lord, and the things which he did before, and the things now released are regifted, no, registered in the book of the kings of Israel and Judah. Then they of the nation took is no in Natzah, the son of Josiah, and made him king instead of his father Josiah, when he was 23 years old. So that's 23. And he reigned in Judah and in Jerusalem 3 months, for the king of Egypt deposed him from reign of in Jerusalem. So they didn't allow him to do reign from Jerusalem. He taxed also the people of 100 talents of silver, and ordinate of gold, no, and 1 talent of gold. And the king of Egypt made Jigam, I don't know how to say his son's name, his brother king of Judah and Jerusalem. And he Bond bound. He bound Jokaz or uh, Ikaz, I don't know how you say Ilkaz, and his government, but when he had taken Zacharias, his brother, he led him away into Egypt. 25 years. So 25 years old was um, Yakim when he reigned in Judah and Jerusalem, and he did evil in the sight of the Lord. Wherefore against him came up nation. I thought I knew what it was going to be. Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, who when he had bound him with chains of brass, led him away from Babylon into Babylon. Led him away into Babylon. Then Nebuchadnezzar took the body of Bali, the holy, took the holy vessels of the Lord and carried them away, set them in his temple at Babylon, but all his acts and his profanation. So that's bad stuff. He profaned the temple, right? All his profanation and his reproach are written in the Chronicles of the Kings. And Joachim or Joachim, his son, reigned for him, and when he was made king, he was 18 years old, and he reigned 3 months and 10 days in Jerusalem, and he did evil in the sight of the Lord. So a year after Nebuchadnezzar sent and brought him to Babylon with the holy vessels of the Lord. And he made Zedekiah king of Judah and Jerusalem. When he was 1 and 20, so 21, right? Years old, and he reigned 11 years, and he did evil in the sight of the Lord. Neither did he fear the wonders spoken by Jeremiah, the prophet, from the mouth of the Lord. For after that he was sworn to King Nebuchadnezzar, Nebuchadnezzar, he for he sorcerer himself by the name of the Lord, and fell away and hardened his neck in his heart, and transgressed the laws of the Lord God of Israel. Also the governors of the people and the priests committed many things against the laws, and passed all the pollutions of the nations, and polluted the temple of the Lord, which was sanctified in Ierus, or it's F, but Jerusalem. Nebuchadnezzar the no. Verse 50. Nevertheless, the God of their fathers sent. Oh my goodness. And then they wrote sent again. His messengers to call them back, because he spared them his own tabernacle, but their derived him messengers, and in the day that the Lord spake unto them, they mocked his prophetess. So it's a female. So that he, being moved to anger against his people for their great wickedness, commanded the kings of the Chaldeans to invade them. These killed their young men with the sword round about their holy temple. Neither did they spare the young man, nor children, neither old men nor children among them. But he delivered them all into the hands, uh, to their hands, and all the holy vessels of the Lord broke. I think that's broke. Great and final with the vessels of the ark of God, and they took and carried away the king's treasures into Babylon, and therefore there set fire in the house of the Lord, and break down the walls of Jerusalem, and burnt their towers. Yeah, burnt their towers with fire. They consumed also all the precious things thereof, and brought them to naught. And those that were left by the sword he carried away into Babylon, and they were servants to him and to his children till the till the Persians reigned, to fulfill the word of the Lord by the mouth of Jeremiah, the mouth of Jeremiah, which is Jeremiah, right? And that the Yad, that the Yad might envy her Sabbath all the time that it was desolated, till the $70 and I can't read that part. The 70 years were completed. That's it. 70 years were completed. And that ends chapter 1. Thank you for sticking with me. Let me change the view. What did you think about the read? I'm looking at the fact that the word that we read, very few of them are any different than the King James versions. All of them are just copies, really. Let me get my cord. They're really all just versions of the King James. Um, but this version that I just read, the Geneva Bible, and it's a book that I've never read before. First, um, Esdras, Esdras or Esdras. I don't know much of it. It sounds a lot like Daniel, the book of Daniel. Um, I was a little shocked. You heard the shockness in my voice about um, the cauldrons of herbs. I'd never read that before about the cauldrons of herbs. So I don't know if that was part of the veining of the temple, or if that was left out of the King James version, and just because it looked so different, made it feel wrong. It said, I thought it said they sewed it into the meat. So let me know if I didn't get any thumbs up. If you ever want to hear anything more from this book. So I'm going to move on to the next book because it was such a hard read, and I only found one inconsistency. The other things, there was a few others. It told how the Chaldeans bound them. They bound them in brass, so you knew what the major metals were of that time. It kind of gives you something that they can't take away from you. So they've taken. We really don't know what year it is, because they put this I in front of everything, and then they changed it to, it could have been a J sound, just like Jerusalem. Instead of Jerusalem, this I, Jerusalem, and they put this I in front. What if we're much younger than we think, and we're in year, if we're in year 1024, and we're just being lied to for so long, without a prophet, we don't know the times, right? Just like the scripture said in here. Without a prophet, they don't know the times. And they had Jeremiah, and they had a prophetess, which they did not name, but they said that they didn't listen to either one of them. So my eyes are like, whoo, because of all the blue light, because I used my phone as a magnifying glass so I could read those small letters. So does anybody have any opinion about those words, that chapter 1 that I just read? Or you just like sitting here looking at me? So it looks a lot like the book of Daniel, right? It also looks a lot like the Kings and Chronicles. Looks a lot like Samuel, but there's a little bit difference. I mean, like I just mentioned, it tells how they bound them, and that's different. Which makes us wonder if it's a hint at what time frame we're in, and if that and what time frame that was in, the age of bronze or the age of brass. Um, and if that was the defiling of the temple, that 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 is, what's the right word for it, that fulfills, that's the right word, does that fulfills the prophecy, or if we're looking for it to happen again, because everybody thinks that they're going to build a fourth temple, and then the whole thing is going to happen again. We know things happen again and again and again, but I don't think that we're waiting for that to happen. I think we're way, 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 way down the road from that. So I don't know who's still watching. I guess it's a bot, because they're not saying anything, and I've gotten no thumbs up. So I'm moving on, and I appreciate you watching. God bless you and keep you, and hopefully you learn something. Again, this is the Geneva Bible, the 15, let me read it for you, 1560 edition. And if you look at the video, you'll realize why it's such a hard read. Thank you, and bye.